Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Happy Monday. Welcome back to The Ted Show. I'm really excited to kick off our week, our first full week in May 2021. Can you believe it? We made it. With this amazing lady. This is Lauren Dulgheru. The guru. Ooh, see what I'm saying? I'm thinking it out loud.
There you go.
Right. Lauren is the Solutionist. She is with Total Solution Trust. We're going to talk about Credit 101. We've got a big workshop coming up on May 26th. We are VIP Mortgage is doing it with our friends at Champion Title. And we're super excited to have Lauren come in and kind of educate us. So many changes, so many things going on, but credit is on everybody's mind, especially in our real estate world with all the craziness going on. Welcome, Lauren. How are you today?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for having me. Happy Monday, Grand Rising. I know this week is going to be absolutely outstanding, far better than any week that we've experienced so far in this year.
Yes, I love that you're putting it out.
2021. Pardon?
I love that you're putting it out into the universe.
Absolutely. Every day, every second.
All right. So tell us, before we dive in, I told you before we went live, we all love origin story. You obviously didn't have a Credit 101 Barbie when you were growing up. So you had other dreams and aspirations that led you here. So give us a little 411 on Lauren.
Well, I don't have a formalized educated background in credit. Then again, really nobody does because there's no classes or even education offered to this. But I started off very young with my first experience with credit. I had my first card when I was 16, my very own Visa card. Actually, I think the limit on it was $8,000. So by the time I graduated high school, I had about 840 credit score the day that I graduated. So I was getting credit offers all the time, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 as a teenager, because my dad had taught me the old school method of credit, right? Use a little bit, pay it off. Use a little bit, pay it off. So he had taught me and brought me up to be responsible. I'm formally educated in criminal justice, law, and research. I have.
What did you want to do? What did you want to do with that?
The idea was to go be a law enforcement officer.
How
turns out
cool.
I don't have the personality for it. I'm just too chatty. So I learned a lot. I highly value my formalized education. I have a couple of minors, and I went on and I got my master's degree in crisis management with the idea to go and work with FEMA in national catastrophes, natural emergencies to mitigate the circumstances. But I have
what motivated you to get involved with crisis management? That's a jump a little bit from criminal justice. Why crisis management? Did you go through something, or was there some event that you said, all right, I want to be part of this?
I've always been a problem solver person. So if I hear someone has a problem, I always just naturally want to go and help them figure out the most effective situation that'll be the least painful so that they can still obtain their goal, but then get over the pain of the past, right? And it takes a certain type of mentality to see the bigger picture of what's happening. You have all the gears working around, but you have to be able to see the bigger picture in addition to each gear. So crisis management, solutions, solving problems, it just kind of it coincided. And especially, sadly, in today's economy, our societies, we're having more and more violent events, natural disasters, where FEMA is being called into play probably more than anybody really wants, because nobody wants an emergency response team to come in, because that's mean that there's people that are hurting.
Yes.
But I was blessed.
So you shifted.
I did. I met my coach and my mentor very shortly after I got divorced. And he taught me financial intelligence and leveraging credit. So I already knew credit, and then he taught me how to leverage it and to create income and other advanced strategies. But So I was married. I want to backtrack a little bit. Sorry.
Yeah, backtrack. Tell us. Yeah,
So
you skipped right over that. I was going to ask, but
credit.
thank you for sharing.
I've always had great credit, like I said. Even when I was married, you know, we both had great credit. Everything was going fine. And then we got divorced. Sadly, people don't know, but a lot of times when you sign on that line, it's filed in the courthouse. That next day, my over 800 credit score was ripped down to 479.
Wow.
One fell swoop and one signature.
How did that happen? Why?
Because now when you're married, you're less of a risk, right? To underwriters and to banks, you're less of a risk. But now that you're single, they automatically assume you're going to lose the business, the house, everything's got to be sold, everything has to be divided. It's just that lawful assumption that you're exposed to. So I ended up working in a different strategy to re-elevate my credit in a creative way, because it wasn't like I had bad accounts. You know, it wasn't like the information was wrong. We had to learn how to replenish with the right things so that we can get it back up to that fundable place.
Why is it such hieroglyphics? I think I put that on most people go, they don't even know what FICO stands for, right? They have no idea. We all throw that word around like we know it, and nobody really understands what it stands for. And I'm going to have you do that or tell us in a minute. But I think that we all just give up because it is so difficult to figure out how to maneuver through on your own through that whole credit process. You see this big thing because all of these credit karma kind of places say, come get your credit score. But once you get it, you have no idea how to really fix it. And during the crazy shutdown, there were a lot of charlatans out there that do credit. There still are. And so there's so much misinformation out there that I think people just wash their hands of it and they're like, whatever it is, it is. So tell us what FICO stands for, and then give us some pointers. I think it's so important that we kind of know where to maneuver first.
So FICO comes from Fair Isaac, and that's the general reporting agency for all of your credit information, right? Fair Isaac it's a company, it's a publicly traded company. It's not private, so they are definitely up for profit. What they do is they gather information on everybody, but it's not just credit account information, your name, address, phone number. When you actually pull a lot of these reports, the information is appalling. It really goes very in depth to insurance premiums. What do you buy online? What kinds of returns have you done? It really goes very in depth. And then they go and they sell this information to companies who want to solicit things to you. Okay, creditors in the money world, but also insurance companies, attorneys, the LLB magazines, you know, they all buy this information, and that's how you get the junk mail. So they kind of run those two things. Credit it's not a mystery, but it is, right? It's not a mystery.
It feels like it. It feels like it's
know.
mysterious, and it's overwhelming and confusing for the majority of people who look at that credit score.
But if we all received an education in secondary school, it wouldn't be.
Agreed.
You know, we would at least be able to take elementary hieroglyphics and to read it and kind of know those principal steps. So our mission is really to come in and, you know, to facilitate the need and to demonstrate that there is a need to put this into secondary schools to eliminate credit bankruptcy. Credit is options. Credit is money. When you have money, life becomes less stressful. You have more options. You can do more things. You can help other people and really have an impact in your community. So credit isn't debt. Credit is money. Credit is options. Credit is a lifestyle.
I love that spin on it. That's such a positive spin, because I think most people fear looking at their credit report. You know, the ones that have the big ones, the bigger ones, 800 plus, they don't fear so much. But the majority, I think, of Americans really do look at it and go, first of all, I'm confused. And second of all, it seems so overwhelming for me to try to fix it or challenge it. And it's not like the three credit bureaus really make it easy. They might pretend to, but maybe you've got some pointers on how to figure that out. I had somebody ask before we went live, Ted, one of my credit scores is in the 6s, one's in the 7s, and one's in the mid 7s. Why? So how do you figure that out? How do you maneuver through that if you don't have a Lauren or a Total Solution Trust to help you through it? Otherwise, it's way over our head. It's like having a PhD in credit, and none of us have the time or the energy to figure that out.
See, the beauty of credit is the laws and the legislation are available to all of us. And they're not written in legal speak or difficult language or attorney speak, shall we say. They're written in straightforward English so that everyday people, consumers, can understand it and really protect themselves. But the big three, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, have made it seem like it's an impossible undertaking. As soon as they make it seem like it's an impossible undertaking, people wash their hands of it, walk away, and they can continue on moving down their business, right? But in the legislation, it's line by line. You do this, they do that, this time, this is the remedy, this is the cure. It's line by line. Everybody has access to it. It's really just a matter of, I can read, I got this. You know.
But do you think, tell me what you think, we had a lot of questions too before we went live about what I mentioned earlier, is that the credit repair, I don't even like to use those words, but the credit consulting companies and people, there's a lot of charlatans out there. So people are afraid, they don't know what to do. They don't know, hey, somebody said that I'll go from 400 to an 800 if I pay them 10 grand. There's a lot of companies out there, even though that's not legal. There's a lot of companies out there. So then people, even they're already confused by credit. Now they have somebody else coming in and they're trusting them. And because they don't know enough, they don't even know how to ask the right questions to make sure that the stuff's getting done. So if somebody's out there has dealt with that and they're listening to this, they're like, all right, Lauren, I'm interested. What could you do for me? And we don't want to give too much away because we have this, our May 26th event coming up. But what are some initial steps people can do to begin the process of really evaluating and helping to change their credit?
You want to know the easiest thing is?
Tell me.
Check your credit. Pull it from my FICO. I know that, Credit Karma, it's free. It's very tempting to look at, right? But it's not exactly a true result of the algorithm that are produced by TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. So that's why a lot of times you'll see your Credit Karma number, and then you'll go look at your actual profiles, and there could be a 30, 40, potentially 50% difference. And the reason for it is it's just really to give you an idea, a benchmark of where you need to head. But really the easiest part to start looking at your credit and start fixing it is pull it. I like to use myfico.com to pull credit because it does a number of things. You get your free credit reports, but it also has the identity theft and the dark web monitoring. So you really get a well-rounded protection there, but really pull it. Just pull it. Start looking at your name. Is your name spelled right? How many addresses do you have? Is that spelled right? Is the zip code right? How about your birthday? How many of those do you have? Very simple. Just look at it because you know your information. You should know how many dollars are on each account. And you want to look to see how accurate and complete the data is. Because once we know how accurate or inaccurate or complete or lack thereof it is, then we can start taking action. Because everything is indeed based on accuracy and completeness.
So tell me what, if somebody's looking at it, like I can give an example of mine in the early days. I'm a junior. And so my father's credit was intertwined with mine.
Yes.
Back in the day, this is a long time ago, by the way, before we had stone tablets, not computers. The things you had to do to get that separated was almost like an act of God. It took me years and even took me an attorney once to really do it. That's what I think a lot of people face. Like, so if you see something on there that's not yours, all right, Lauren, it's not mine. Now what do I do?
Raise your hand. If it's not yours, raise your hand. And if it's not yours, I'm sure you have the documents to prove it. Like you're a junior. I'm sure you have the documents to prove that this account is yours, this one's not, social security number's wrong. It's really going in and standing up for yourself as a consumer, as an educated consumer, and telling these companies that for so long have been allowed to control what you thought you were capable of doing. It's really going in and saying, no, I'm not that person. Here's the proof. And we go through and we submit all of the proof. And it's really just acting on your own private right of action. It's really bringing your own power back to commerce.
Love it. And then how does somebody engage you? Because see how fast the time goes. I told you it's we're even past time. How does somebody engage you? Because I think people are also confused about that. All right, Lauren, you're telling me to go to myfico.com. I can download it. I'm sure I can figure out how to maneuver through this, even though most of the information is wrong in my head. Why would somebody engage Total Solution Trust? Why would somebody engage you instead of trying to do it on their own?
Did you really enjoy studying the history books and the dates and memorizing the locations and the timelines and then getting drilled on that? You know, that type of format isn't necessarily conducive to long-term memory. Total Solution Trust, we take you by the hand and we guide you. We do it with you. We show you exactly what we're doing, why we're doing it, and the result that it's going to create. For two reasons. Not only, obviously, are we trying to fix your credit, but I want you to be able to go and teach your family. I want you to go and teach your friends, your kids. We want to end credit bankruptcy. We want to make sure that our people, our nation, our tribe has options, has access to funding. There is really no reason why America suffers from such a high level of poverty when credit is so prevalent in every pillar of our existence. There's no good reason for it. So if everybody really knows how to take control of their credit and to, restore it themselves, because it is written right there, that ends credit bankruptcy. So really enlisting Total Solution Trust, we're going to guide you. We're going to teach you the who, what's, the where's, the why's, the how's. Credit is a game. You got to learn the rules. You got to learn the players before you can win it. You can't just walk into a soccer match, kick a ball, and then win. Well, not the last time I played.
I guess you could.
Maybe a change. But we really make it that easy, and we go through, and you end up with a guide, a digital guide that you can access anywhere on the globe, so that you can go back and look at what we did, look to see if anything's changed. And that's not something that you would get Googling on the internet, right? Like, you're not going to get a very specified answer for a specific circumstance and something that a creditor may or may not have told you. So you're really going to be, gain that specificity and gain that specific understanding of why you're doing what you're doing. Yeah, we know that it's going to restore your credit because that's what we're doing, but you have to understand the why we need to say what we need to say to get the result that we're looking for.
All right, so I don't want you to share any more nuggets because we're going to do one more show again before the 26th. But on May 26th, we are having a Credit 101. It's much more than that, much more in depth. This is stuff where Lauren's going to come in and really give you guys some tools. And we're very thankful that Champion is co-sponsoring that with us at VIP. All right, tell them in between, what's the best way to reach you? How can they find out more? What if they want to learn more about the Total Solution Trust services?
Okay, Total Solution Trust, we are virtual and we are reachable anywhere. You can find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, you can call us, you can email us, you can text. All of the numbers are on the website, our Facebook's Total Solution Trust. I'm Lauren Dulgheru, aka the Solutionist, and it all links back over there. But we're very easy to get a hold of, and we understand that, maybe you can't contact us during a normal hour just because of the privacy factor. We're very flexible in that. So just give us a call, give us a text, and that way we can make sure that we're getting you a private space where you feel comfortable.
You're a joy, y'all. We all talk about credit. I can't tell you how many conversations I have, especially in our industry, about this. So here we're bringing somebody who has some solutions, Total Solution Trust. I love that. I love that name. Lauren, you're a joy. We'll be back in maybe a week or two. We're going to do a second follow-up show, and then the link I'll put in the comments to the actual event itself. You all get involved. Know your credit. It's a big deal. And if you don't understand it all, that's okay. You're not meant to if you haven't been educated.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
Let's have somebody educate you. That's right. That's right. All right, Lauren, you're a joy. Go to totalsolutiontrust.com or any of the platforms that I've tagged Lauren on. Thank you so much. I'm super excited for our next show and our May 26th event. See, it wasn't as bad as you thought, was it?
Oh, I guess you were right. Just this time, though. Just this one time.
All right, I only get once. All right, Lauren, you're amazing. Guys, we'll see you soon. Reach out to Lauren, totalsolutiontrust.com or on any of the platforms. And if you need her and you can't find her, reach out to me. I'll put you in touch. Thanks, Lauren. We'll be back, you guys.
Look forward to seeing you again.
I can't wait. I think your information is so important, and we all need that advocate. So let's